Hello, today I would like to talk to you about how I live stream sports on YouTube and how Meraki networking equipment helps me simplify my workflow. Let me take you on a tour of my rig. So all the equipment that I use to do the live streaming. As you can see, it is quite a lot of stuff. So starting from the center, you can see this is my main streaming laptop. It is running this open source software called OBS. So this is the one that gathers all the inputs and of course also does the real-time uploading to YouTube. Then moving on to the right, we see the camera. The camera is pointing at the scene. It is connected via an HDMI cable to a device that captures the image and transmits it into the streaming device. And then of course we have the heart of the networking part. You see my networking gear there, so it's a Meraki MRR53 followed by a Meraki MS switch and a Meraki MX security appliance as well. I try to use wiring as much as possible just to minimize possibility of interference, but some devices are connected via Wi-Fi as well. Behind my streaming computer you can see what is essentially my graphics server. So that one is just running a web server with some custom graphics for my stream overlays. Moving on to the left, we have audio gear. So an audio mixer where I can connect the different microphones. I can connect laptops to play music and stuff like that. A couple of microphones are connected right now. So we have a wireless microphone that an announcer, a commentator can use to comment on the game. And of course we have an ambient microphone as well to get some audio from the track. But today I would like to talk to you a little bit more about the networking part. And of course I use the Meraki dashboard for that. Which you can see here, so let's just dive into it. Okay, we're in the dashboard now. And just a few things to note about it. First of all, as you well know, Meraki equipment is super easy to configure, which helps a lot when you have just a little bit of time to set up the system and to start the streaming when you arrive at the sports venue. Now, I would like to point out a few features, three features mainly, on this system that really help me out during games. First of all, what I really like is the ability to see what different devices I have here. So very often I need to connect to some kind of a scoreboard computer, which will provide the state of the game, which I can then integrate into my graphics. So it's very easy to find those devices. They are typically connected via Wi-Fi to an SSID that I provide them, which means I just filter what this SSID and I can see that the device is here. So this is the scoreboard computer I will need to connect to. It's connected via Wi-Fi to my access point. Now, the first thing I want to do with this client is just to make sure that it will not change IP address while the event is on. So what I do, the first thing, I fix the IP address to whatever it has, and after that I can just put this in my graphics server and I can use that for the whole event. Now, other things that I really like about the solution is, first of all, you are able to understand what is happening in the Wi-Fi spectrum. So as you see, some clients might be very far away, like the scoreboard computer. It will connect via Wi-Fi. So what I want to do is I want to see that there are no warnings on the wireless spectrum in regards to the channels that I'm using. As you see here, I'm using channels 6 and 36. So what I want to do is I go to RF and I want to see live data. So if there was some kind of a bad interferer here, like a wireless camera, for example, that some colleague might be using, or maybe something in the venue that causes lots of interference in one channel, then I would definitely want to avoid that channel. It's all about resolving these type of situations proactively and quickly to be able to meet the schedules. And the third thing I would like to point out is about another common issue. When we get these type of computers that some officials game officials are providing, like the scoreboard, for example, very often what those computers, the first thing that they try to do is to download a bunch of updates. So I want to make sure that those updates do not affect my uplink, at least not in a to a level where it degrades my stream quality. So what I want is to create a traffic shaping rule to limit the effect of those updates. So I go to wireless, I go to firewall and traffic shaping, and I want to select the SSID that I give to them, which is the scoreboard SSID. And what I do here is I create a per client bandwidth limit. Now I have it at 1 megabit per second, but perhaps depending on the venue and how much uplink I have, I could go even stricter. I could lower that to half a meg. So this means that any internet destinations are going to be limited to 500 kilobit per second per client. And then I want, of course, the devices in my LAN, in my local area network, wired and wireless, to operate at full speed. So I would do essentially a application or destination-based traffic shaping rule to say that the destinations in my LAN, I just ignore this per client limit. So those are some of my favorite things in the Meraki dashboard. And just to close off, let's look at the end result of the stream. And we're out of the dashboard once more. Going back to the scene being streamed, we can see the image captured by the camera as well as the graphics. And if I press a timeout here for one of the teams that are playing in this virtual game, we can see that the graphics render to reflect the situation. And as the banner says, powered by Cisco Meraki.